sleeves without layering. That idea stayed with me. And when I was 8 months pregnant with my third child, I decided to bring it to life. I designed the first pair, and my mom sewed the very first prototype. Today, that simple idea has grown into something that helps women feel more confident, more comfortable, and more themselves. Made with all-way stretch in a soft cotton blend or lace, Tiffy sleeves give you the look of layering without the bulk. This Mother's Day, give something thoughtful, something meaningful, something created with love. Shop now at thetiffy.com and use code MOM25 to receive 25% off your order. From one mother's hands to women everywhere. Happy Mother's Day. Let's talk about those cash discount fees. Your customers already pay for the product. They pay sales tax. And if they're using a credit card, they're paying interest too. And now they're asked to pay even more. That moment at checkout, it matters, because when customers see that extra charge, it creates friction. And friction doesn't just affect one sale, it affects whether they come back. At Swipe Merchant Services, we believe there's a better way. Instead of passing costs on to your customers, we help you lower your actual processing fees so you can protect your margins without adding extra charges. No awkward conversations and no surprise fees, just a better experience for your customers and a smarter strategy for your business. Because when paying the tab feels good, they tip better and they come back. They spend more and they trust your brand. Stop passing it on and instead start paying less. Join the Swipe Nation today at swipenationusa.com. That's swipenationusa.com.
Attention all business owners and creative minds. Do you need a unique and personalized touch for your products? Look no further than Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs. We offer custom laser engraving services for a variety of products, including promotional items and corporate or personal gifts. With state-of-the-art equipment and a team of skilled designers, we can engrave intricate designs on virtually any material. Whether it's a special message, a company logo, or a custom design, Romika Laser Engraving will help you make your mark. And the best part, our prices are affordable and our turnaround time is quick.
I couldn't be happier with the work Romika Laser Engraving did for me. The engraving on my product was precise and exactly what I wanted.
So don't wait any longer to add a personal touch to your products. Call Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs today at 817-400-4040 or visit our website at romikadesigns.com. We look forward to helping you make your mark.
Your customers already pay for your product. They pay sales tax. And if they use a credit card, they may even pay interest on top of that. The fees add up. The last thing they need in today's economy is another fee at checkout. And as a business owner, you feel that too, because every extra charge can impact how customers see your brand. At Swipe Merchant Services, our mission is to help you avoid that. And by lowering your processing costs, you don't have to pass fees on to your customers just to stay profitable. That means smoother transactions, better customer experiences, and stronger, long-term local relationships. Because when people feel good about doing business with you, they come back and they tell others. This isn't just about saving money. It's about building a business people trust. Join the Swipe Nation today and start doing business the smarter way at swipenationusa.com.
Well, there you are. What's up, handsome?
There he is. My man. Bill.
Yes, sir.
All right.
How
We
are
got
we?
a lot to talk about this week, man. Well, before we jump into it, today's show is brought to you by Ensemble Co-working, Fort Worth Hub for private offices, co-working and meeting space and virtual mail. Find your perfect workspace at NTX Media at ntxradio.com. So before we jump into it, today's show is titled Falling Stars. We'll talk some quick hitters, NBA playoffs, the Rangers. We'll talk college baseball. The end of the regular season is 2 weeks away of college baseball. And there's a new man in charge of the Mavs.
Yes, sir.
what to expect and what can the Stars do to get back to relevance after the abysmal playoff exit. So I'm pretty excited about the Mavs hire. So
As am I.
we will touch base on that. That'll be the last thing we talk about in the quick hitters because we can go in depth with that. So Justin Simmons returns to Denver, signs a one-day contract to retire as a Denver Bronco. He was a big free agent. I think was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that?
Yep.
Just didn't take off as he thought he would. Was injured quite a bit and just kind of flopped, I guess you could say.
10 years to the day after they drafted him, he called it a career. It's very, very poetic, very equal there. Very nice.
He was a phenomenal safety.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You say he's probably a top 5 safety in the league while he was in Denver. And I think he left and went to, I think it was Atlanta.
It was Atlanta.
Just flamed out, man. Just couldn't stay healthy and just wasn't the same player. Minnesota's Jesper Wallstedt. I gave him his flowers when he was playing the Stars in our series.
Yep.
He plays Colorado and gives up 9 freaking goals on Sunday night, and he gets benched. So the Stars, the Minnesota Wild start Philip Gustafson, veteran. I think he's been a starter in the league for 8-10 years, something like that. They didn't get any improvement. They gave up 5 goals, and they are down 2-0. I think I told you I think they get it done in 5 games. It might be a sweep because they look totally dominated by Colorado. It might be a sweep. Minnesota, I was telling people it didn't matter if the Stars won or Minnesota won. They were beating the shit out of each other, and it didn't matter. Colorado was going to take whoever went on.
Just for the right to get their ass kicked by Colorado. That's Colorado is a juggernaut, and we've known this for a while. We've seen them play plenty of times this year.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's just no. I don't think there's anybody going to touch that team.
Yeah, it's just a joke. The NHL playoffs are a joke. I hate the way they do it. They need to fix that. I don't think they will.
I agree.
But
I agree.
They need to fix it. There's no way that the top 3 teams in the league should be playing in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. It's stupid, in my opinion.
You and I have been we've been screaming that for the last few years.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Jesper Wallstedt and NHL analysts have been screaming his praises, and he gets benched after giving up 9. I don't think he gave up 9 goals in 4 games against Dallas, and he gives that up in 1 game against Colorado. Now, Colorado, like you said, is a juggernaut, but he gets benched. I don't know if they go back to him to see what happens. Who knows? But 9 games is still almost half a. Not 5 goals is still almost half of 4. Or 5 goals is still almost half of 9. God, language is hard today. But anyways, moving on. Kentucky Derby, man. Golden Tempo won the 152nd Derby, and trainer Sherry DeVoe became the first woman to ever win the Derby. Man, that's impressive. Yeah. That's awesome. Hats off to her. Hats off to that young woman.
Yep.
She made history, so that's outstanding. I'm not much of a Kentucky Derby person,
I'm not big on the ponies myself.
It's big sports news. I know people love it. I know a lot of people that bet because they were severe underdogs. I know a buddy that had free money in his sports whatever book that he used. He had free $50. He made like $270 betting on the underdog doing that. So he's like, dude, awesome, So hats off to him. I'm not going to steal your thunder. There's a couple things here that I want to talk about NBA, just quick hitters. The Celtics collapsed after a 3-1 lead. They were eliminated by the 76ers. Absolutely embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yep. People thought, especially after they beat the Mavs a couple years ago, they thought the Celtics were going to be another dynasty. And
we will get more into just how embarrassing that was in a moment.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. And then Victor Wembanyama set a playoff record with 12 blocks in the loss to the T-Wolves. They just didn't play very well. He was also 0 for 8 from 3, so that's kind of bad. Another thing I want to talk about, you and I talked quite a bit about this the last couple of weeks, especially in regards to the videos that they released about the draft war rooms, especially in regards to the Cowboys. Them talking about moving up and moving down. And the first one that I saw was the Cowboys. They wanted to trade 12, 20, and a fifth to Cleveland to move up to 9 or move up for 9 and 24. And Cleveland was like, no way, we're not doing that. And
smartly so, because as it was, Cleveland wanted that they wanted the tackle. They wanted their choice of the tackles. And had they traded back to 12, there's a good chance that they didn't get either one of them.
Yeah, and in my opinion, they drafted a guard at 9.
You really believe so?
They got Fano. I think Fano's a guard. They're going to play him at tackle. I don't think he's a tackle. I don't think he moves well enough.
I kind of feel that way about Malgoa, the one that they got from.
I think he's better than Fano. I think he plays better athletes in the ACC than Fano played at Utah in the Big 12. But that's just my opinion. But who's to say that Fano doesn't go on to be the next DeBrickashaw Ferguson? You just never know.
Hey, he's a personal favorite of mine. Favorite of mine.
DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
Yeah.
He was a good one. He was a good one. Out of Virginia. I liked him. He was a teammate of pretty sure he's a teammate of Chris Long at Virginia.
That Jets O line in the mid part of the 2000s there with
rest in peace Nick Mangold.
Nick Mangold. Yep. It was one of probably in the league, probably the best center at the time. And
it's amazing they didn't win a whole mess of games back then, dude.
They did have the Sanchez as their quarterback and
butt fumble.
Yeah.
Good God.
I'm a leader. Usually if you have to say you're a leader on the team, that's usually not the case.
Yeah. And then, then you had the video of them trading. So Steven calls. It's pretty cool to see Steven actually making the phone calls and running everything through Jerry. It's pretty cool. He's good at it,
Yeah.
He's personable, right? Jerry's personable too. But so they call originally and go, hey, will you do 12 for 11 and I think it was and a fifth, or no, it was a seventh, I think it was. And they were like, no, we don't want to do that. And they said, oh, okay. So they hang up. And so they start kicking it around. And then they're like, man, we really don't want someone else to jump up there and take Caleb. No. They didn't think Miami was going to take Caleb Downs. And then they're like, man, we really don't want someone else to jump up there and take Caleb Downs. So then they're like, well, how about we give up 2 fifths and then move up? And he was like, oh, okay. So he picks up the phone and everybody's talking. He's like, hey, everybody stop talking. I'm trying to get something done. Yeah. So he calls and he's like, hey, how about we give you 12 for 11 and we give you both 5th round picks? Will that do it? And they're like, yeah, that'll do it. And at that point, they had like 12 seconds left on the clock to make the pick. And he's like, hey, go ahead and send it in because then you don't want the whole, was it 2001 Minnesota Vikings where they forfeited their draft pick twice in a row. Yep. Time ran out. So anyways, they got the pick. They got their guy. Everyone's still raving. They're like, dude, Cowboys got to steal the draft. And then they flipped those 2 5th round picks into 4th round picks and still got their defensive end. And then, it's amazing. Cowboys also hosting free agent cornerback Adoree Jackson. familiarity with Christian Parker. I don't think he's coming in for significant reps. I think he's just another body for the defense.
Camp bodies are important, man. Camp bodies are important.
Staying healthy. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it.
Terrible. He was terrible last year.
He was.
So
He was.
Yeah, I don't know that. And he was in Christian Parker's defense then. So
Absolutely.
my guess is they're going to give him a shot because of their relationship, but most likely he's just a camp body.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so let's get to the best part of the quick hitters, which is, and I'm going to start this off with a compliment for Mr. Patrick Dumont, right? Which I do not do very often, right? I'm going to start this off and say, hats off. Patrick Dumont gets a lot of credit here for making a home run hire with Mr. Masai Ujiri. Dude, he interviewed him. Basically, this started in December, late December, early January. He built a relationship with this guy, and he's basically been interviewing him. They talked about wanting to hire, I forget what the guy's name is, the Timberwolves GM. I think what he was doing is he was floating names out there to keep people away from Masai Ujiri. I think all along he wanted Ujiri, and I think he was building this relationship with him to get him comfortable, and this is the guy that he wanted all along. I think he wanted Ujiri to get comfortable with him, and I think this was his guy, and he realized it after that 5-hour lunch. Like, you don't schedule a 1-hour lunch with a guy and it turns into 5 hours.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean anything. Right.
Yeah, I agree.
So the one thing, and we'll get into some of the things that he's done for those of you who don't know who he is, right? One of the questions asked during the press conference yesterday, Luka was brought up a dozen times, right? And
of course.
And like, one question was asked, will you address the Luka trade? Did not because you had anything to do with that or anything, but he said, and I quote, "There's an old African saying, when old kings pass, new kings come." And he said, "We will turn our Prince Cooper into a king." Right?
I love that.
Which
I love.
I was like, oh my God, we have an African Socrates here. Like, that dude just dropped
African
a one-liner
Socrates.
on us.
I like that.
I was like, dude, that dude just dropped a one-liner. I was bought in. As soon as he said that, I was like, okay, I'm sold. Now, mind you, when they started talking about GMs, and after the Patrick Dumont situation happened, like in Nico Harrison, I was like, I'm out on Patrick Dumont. This dude, I want him gone. And when this happened, they brought him in, and I heard that they brought in Ujiri. I was like, okay. And then when he started talking, I was like, dude, this is fantastic.
Yeah. Masai Ujiri he's a proven winner. He built a championship team in Toronto. 2019. Granted, he did have an all-world talent in Kawhi Leonard, but he was the one that acquired him.
Yep.
So
he manufactured that trade.
And then they built that little run there around Kawhi. It didn't last very long, but they got a championship out of it, which is huge. He's gonna have more power in this league than any other person in his position, because he is also the alternate governor, which means he's basically second in charge of the whole team.
Yep.
Second in charge of the whole franchise. There's the only guy he answers to is Dumont.
Mm-hmm. And Dumont's going to let him work.
And I'm hearing that, it was very weird at the press conference. He was very non-committal on Jason Kidd.
Mm-hmm.
They said Jason, and I've heard that Jason Kidd has been openly campaigning about trying to be about wanting to be the GM
or president, either one. He wanted more power.
Yeah, he did. And I'm wondering here if Kidd decides to maybe step away. I don't think it's going to be the Mavs moving on from him. I think there's a good chance. I think that if he really does want more power, I think there's a good chance that he may move on from us.
Yeah.
But
Well,
and don't get me wrong. I love Jay Kidd. He's a Hall of Famer. He was part of bringing a championship to this team.
yeah.
I've been a fan of his since I was a teenager, and he was in college. But
If you don't want to be the coach here, then that's the role that you were hired for here.
Yeah.
If you don't want to, and we can go more into that, because I heard some of the guys on 105.3 The Fan say today, and I want to say it was Corey Majors. He believes that Jason Kidd was the driving force behind the Luka trade.
It would. Yeah, that I heard that too. That did surprise me a little bit, but to hear that, but to think about that, John, that would not be all that shocking, because Luka had everybody. Luka was the top dog in this organization. He had everybody's ear.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was going that direction.
From the training staff to Mark Cuban to the assistant coaches and what did Nico do? He fired the training staff.
Oh yeah.
He came in here and he cleaned house, dude.
And Rick Carlisle said this on the way out too. He
Mm-hmm.
basically said that I'm not more powerful than that guy. I'm not more important than that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Carlisle said the same thing on the way out. And then Kidd comes in here, and Kidd is notorious. He likes to be in control. He likes it his way. And I get that. Most really good coaches, they have a way they do things, and they don't want anybody interfering with that.
Yeah.
But, so it would not surprise me at all if he was a little.
But the other thing, too, is, like, Rick Carlisle, you're a crotchety old bastard. You're notorious for that.
Indeed.
You had a generational talent in Jason Kidd. You had a generational talent in Luka Doncic, and he didn't touch the court for like the first 2 weeks that you had him here. Like, the dude is a top 5 pick, and people were saying he should have gone number 1 overall, and he fell to you at 4. Well, he was drafted 4 and he got traded to you, right? But you know what I mean. Like, he didn't touch, because his philosophy is rookies shouldn't play XYZ minutes until it was undeniable that he's the best player on your team by far at 19 years old. Like, it was insane, right? So, anyways, Jason Kidd, it would not surprise me if he's gone next year. And the way that, like, Ujiri, he answered the question correctly. He was non-committal. He said he wanted Jason Kidd to be here. He's going to talk to Jason Kidd. He's already talked to Jason Kidd. I think it's going to be in Jason Kidd's boat. Like, I want him here, right? But if he doesn't want to be here, I don't want him here, right? It's basically what I got out of it.
Something key here to look at could be look at the relationship that Kidd that Flag and Kyrie, Cooper Flag and Kyrie have with Jason Kidd. Yeah. They are both big supporters of his. So kind of look at that might play a factor. If they can maybe talk him into staying, that would be huge. But I trust that if Kidd does decide to leave for some reason, that Masai Ujiri is going to find a good option.
He's going to find a good fit. And trust me, dude, there are better coaches out there than Jason Kidd. And I'm in the same boat that you are. I love Jason Kidd. He brought us our only title here, right? He was he was basically the only good thing about the Dallas Mavericks when I was a child and a fan of the Dallas Mavericks. Like in the early 90s, like, he was the only good thing about the Dallas Mavericks. So
he was my guy. Yeah.
He was fantastic. So about some of the guys, like, Mejri was a part of the Denver Nuggets in the the mid 2010s. He was responsible for Evan Fournier, Kenneth Faried. They made some deep runs when Danilo Gallinari got hurt. They probably would have gone deeper had that not happened, because back then Gallinari was a very good player, and then injuries just riddled his career.
After that,
And then you talk about Toronto. He's responsible for Pascal Siakam, drafted him 27th overall. OG Anunoby, drafted him 23rd overall. Scotty Barnes, he was a 4th overall pick. And there's a really good guy that he picked up off the bargain bin, undrafted free agent, Fred VanVleet. And he was very instrumental in their world
Freddie gives him a lot
run.
of credit. VanVleet gives him a lot of credit.
Yeah, I mean, so Shams Charania, right? Everybody knows him. He's the guy that broke the Luka trade. When
he's the insider. He's the NBA Adam Schefter, if you will.
He said, and I quote, in regards to Masai Ujiri, global basketball giant. That's what he refers to Masai Ujiri as. Global basketball giant. He's got full authority, team builder with a young building block, thinks this is a home run hire. He is a perfect rebound after the Nico disaster. And Patrick Dumont gets a ton of credit here, dude. Like I don't know who you could have.
Give him a lot of credit for that.
I don't know who you could have hired that could have been a better hire than this guy here. Like
for this organization right now, this was
that is at this point it is a dumpster fire, right? Yeah. He went and got Rick Wiltz, right, that was damage control after the dumpster fire that was the Luka trade, and Kyrie gets hurt. They're probably a playoff team if Kyrie's healthy. They don't win anything. Maybe they win in the first round, maybe, but that team with Kyrie and Luka was designed and would have dominated Oklahoma City. That team was designed to beat Oklahoma City.
We had handled them even when we were beat up a few times. We still handled them because we could play their style.
Yeah, we could
match their style.
We were physical and we could space the floor and shoot. Right, that was what we could do, and that's their game. That's what they do, right? We were better at it because Luka was an assassin, dude. He could do everything that they could do.
Well, and the thing is, they did not have an elite defender. When we played the Celtics, it was very obvious that those guys, they were all over, especially Jaylen Brown. I mean, they have two or three like all-world defenders, with Brown and Tatum and Drew Holiday. It was even Derek White. They were going to body him up. They were going to be physical with him. A couple of those guys are really long and just very, very difficult to play against. And when we shut him down, we needed Kyrie to really come up bigger, and he just didn't.
Yeah. The other thing I want to address too is, like, you see all these people, like, you get on and you read these articles and you look at the comments and people are like, you need to trade for Luka. Luka's coming back in 2028. Guys, let it go. Let it go. Like, that ship has sailed. It's not going to happen. If it does happen, it's going to be similar to LeBron's situation. It's going to be a few years down the road, right? Yeah. And it's going to be a different set of circumstances altogether. He's not going to be the same player he was when he left, right? And also, when you talk about these situations like this, there's still hurt feelings there. It's clear that Jason Kidd and Luka do not like each other. So as long as Jason Kidd's here, it's outside of the question. They don't even look at each other when they play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
They don't like each other, yeah.
They don't like each other. And the other thing that was interesting when they talked about how he plans on constructing the roster, he brought up, I think he knows what's coming about this, tanking. It's about to be anti-tank. They're not going to allow teams to tank for the number one pick anymore. So he mentioned,
they're trying not to, John. Let's say that. They're trying not to.
He's very aware of this. And he's like, man, there's other ways to do this. There's free agency, there's trade, acquisitions, but he's very good at talent evaluation and acquisitions, and development is what this guy does. He took Pascal Siakam at pick 27 and turned him into a perennial All-Pro. I mean, he's going to have to do that with the draft pick situation the Dallas Mavericks have for the next 4 years. That's what he's going to have to do.
Well, they don't control after this year. They don't control their own first round pick until like 2031.
They're going to be drafting as if they are winning NBA titles or competing with NBA titles with the pick swaps that they have with Oklahoma City, and who's the other one they swap with. So when we get back, we'll talk a little bit more maybe, and we'll talk some Texas baseball, Dallas Stars, and Texas Rangers and NBA playoffs.
Storm damage is stressful, but dealing with your insurance company shouldn't be. You expect your coverage to be there for you, but too often, claims are denied, delayed, or underpaid, leaving homeowners and business owners stuck paying the price. If your roof or property has been damaged, the insurance company's first offer isn't always the right one. At Todd Hurd & Associates, attorneys at law, they've spent over 25 years helping clients navigate complex insurance claims and fight back when coverage falls short. Whether it's roof damage, structural issues, or storm-related losses, their team works to make sure you receive the compensation you're entitled to. Don't leave money on the table, and don't take on the burden alone. Call Todd Hurd & Associates today at 817-426-4529. That's 817-426-4529. Get the support you need and protect what matters most.
Some gifts mean more because of the story behind them. I'm Tiffany Carlin, the inventor of Tiffy Sleeves. It all started in 2009 with a simple moment, sitting in church on a cold Easter Sunday, wishing there was an easier way to add sleeves without layering. That idea stayed with me. And when I was 8 months pregnant with my third child, I decided to bring it to life. I designed the first pair, and my mom sewed the very first prototype. Today, that simple idea has grown into something that helps women feel more confident, more comfortable, and more themselves. Made with all-way stretch in a soft cotton blend or lace, Tiffy Sleeves give you the look of layering without the bulk. This Mother's Day, give something thoughtful, something meaningful, something created with love. Shop now at thetiffy.com and use code MOM25 to receive 25% off your order. From one mother's hands to women everywhere. Happy Mother's Day.
All right. Can you hear me?
I can.
All right.
After you read our sponsorship there, John, I got one thing I need to say real quick.
Sure. All right. Today's show is brought to you by Ensemble Co-working, Fort Worth's hub for private offices, co-working, meeting space, and virtual mail. Find your perfect workspace at NTX Media at ntxradio.com. Go ahead.
I just want to say I have a young man back in Texas, a young man named Mason. He's a huge San Antonio Spurs fan. He's asking me when we're going to talk about the Spurs. So I told him at some point in the second half. So hopefully we can get into the.
Yeah, go ahead. Jump into it.
Let's go. Let's get into these playoffs a little bit here, man. I made the statement the other day that I think the two best teams in basketball that are left right now are both in the Western Conference.
Mm-hmm.
I may have jumped the gun a little bit. I do believe still one of them is. I believed that that Minnesota beating Denver, okay, as like you took that team out, you had their number, you figured them out. I did not feel, especially with Anthony Edwards being banged up, which he gave Minnesota a huge boost the other night, coming back, scored 18 points in 25 minutes. But I thought San Antonio was going to be able to control that game, control the pace of that game. But despite Wembanyama having a career game, a career-defining playoff game there, with setting a record with 12 blocks, he had a triple-double, 11 points, something like that, 15 rebounds and 12 blocks.
Yeah.
They don't have a go-to guy offensively. Wemby's a great player, all the way around. Like you said, he didn't shoot good the other night. he's capable of a lot more than that. But they've got to have now. Dylan Harper scored 18 points, and you've got Vassell and Castle, and you've got a host of really good good young players around him. But you don't have that one go-to scorer that when he's clogging it up or when he's having an off night,
they don't have an assassin.
That this guy's going to carry our team.
Yeah,
I've been impressed with them and the way they played. I watched them. They handled Portland in 5 games. But they're going to have to get San Antonio's going to have to get more out of the supporting cast if they're going to beat Minnesota. And Anthony Edwards playing, that was huge, man. He only played 25 minutes. But he came back. He looked solid.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I mean, San Antonio's got one more game at home before they got to go back to Minnesota. But they got to figure something else out scoring wise.
I just think they just didn't play well, man. I don't think Minnesota can handle them. I think San Antonio was just off. I think the next game. Right. I think it's going to be. Again, I could be wrong, right? I think the 2 best teams in the league are Oklahoma City and San Antonio.
Yeah,
and everyone else is playing for third. That's just
let's get to that Thunder series. They beat the Lakers the other night 108-90 last night in a game that wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And I got it. It just you've got too much there. LeBron James, he had another good game, but they don't have enough firepower. Reeves is still, I think, a little compromised. They don't have Luka.
Yeah.
That OKC team right now is just a juggernaut.
Yeah,
and they've got.
They need Luka to have a chance.
They do, and they've got so many weapons.
Yeah,
Thunder have so many weapons, and honestly, I think I don't know if anybody's beating them. Now, the team that looked the best the other night was the New York Knickerbockers. They're fresh off their series win, and the Sixers went 7 games, and I get it. They were exhausted. They came back from 3-1 down to beat Boston.
Yeah.
But then you go in, and I don't know what happened, but you didn't show up. The Sixers act like they forgot their games at home, and they get boat raced.
Yeah.
They scored. I mean, they had some guys that, pretty balanced scoring, but the Knicks just blew their doors off.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson has 35 points. You get 18 from OG and Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns both had 17. They couldn't have stopped anything the other night.
Yeah.
So it lets the Sixers and don't get me wrong, I love Tyrese Maxey. He's a DFW kid. He's is a really good young player. He took over at the end of that game 7 against the Celtics because they just couldn't stay in front of him.
Yeah.
But that team just failed to show up the other night, and if they don't figure something out real quick, that series is going to be over really quick.
I agree.
Pistons Cavs 111-101. It seems like that's a 10-point game. That's not a big game. That's not a big difference. No, it's not a big difference. But and Donovan Mitchell was good like he always is. And James Harden, if you look at his stat line, man, it looked good. He went 22, 8, and 7. But what you also need to throw in there at the end of that, he had another 7 turnovers.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the difference in the game, dude. I mean,
fumble farting it away. He's not. I like James Harden. James Harden's still a very good player, but he's not what he was, man.
Yeah.
And that killed him. And then granted, Detroit's defense, they've got a good defensive team. They've got some really good defensive players, but they, like I said, James Harden, Cleveland just takes better care of the ball in that game. And that's a pick 'em game. That's all the way to the end.
Absolutely.
But that's just, that was like I've never really been a fan of James Harden personally, but the player has always been exceptional.
Yeah.
But that my opinion, that was the difference in the game the other night, like you said.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited about the series here. I know the Knicks and the Sixers are playing tonight, and the Spurs and the T-Wolves are playing here in a little while too. I don't think that Thunder's Lakers series at the most Lakers might win one game, but I don't even know if that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Not without Luka. I mean
Minnesota and San Antonio, that could go 6 or 7 games.
Yeah.
that Minnesota team is it's a very determined team, very dogged team.
Yep.
And I would like to. We need to see some other people from San Antonio step up.
Absolutely.
And hopefully Wemby finds a stroke there, because I enjoy watching greatness.
Yeah.
Even if it's not on my team, I enjoy watching greatness. And that guy,
kid's talented.
Incredibly, but
incredibly talented.
That's what I'm. That's my take on the playoffs, man. I've enjoyed it up to this point. There's a lot of good little storylines there, but it's damn sure better than watching the Rangers lately.
Oh God, yeah. Well, our boys down in Austin, man, they're playing some good baseball right now. So this weekend they had a top 10 matchup with the Fighting Cowbells from Starkville. They came to Austin, and Friday night, Texas ace Dylan Volantis took the mound, and it was a pitcher's duel. He matched his career best, had 12 Ks in 6 scoreless innings. The Texas pitching staff struck out 19 Friday night against a damn good offense. They ended up winning the game 3-1. Kozart collected a seventh save. Man, it's been a long day.
English is hard.
I've been up since 5:15. So punching out the side in the ninth. Also of note, they moved Aiden Robbins from center field to right field, and they started a true freshman from Georgia, Maddox Mansour, at center field. Phenomenal athlete. Kid's good. Yeah. So Texas won Friday night 3-1. Saturday, Ruger Riojas looked better. He looked like his old self, but Texas wasted a good outing. Ruger gave up the first earned run. Or he gave up 1 earned run over 5 innings pitched. He had 7 Ks, and he had no base on balls this time. Texas left 18 runners on base.
Yeah.
And we ended up losing 7-4. 3 of the last 4 innings, we had the bases loaded. And we could not score with runners in scoring position. We out-hit Mississippi State 10-4 and lost that game. So just couldn't get the timely hit with runners in scoring position. Now on Sunday,
saw that game. I watched that game.
That was interesting.
Back in the homeland. I'm not gonna lie. My trip to Texas was amazing.
Back in God's country.
Our family down there got little pluckers and watched a little Longhorn baseball. So
got you some big old fat wings, huh?
You know I did.
Well, so you know what happened. So Luke Harrison had a rough first inning.
He did.
He got the first couple outs pretty easily, and then I think he walked one, gave up a base hit, and then probably should have had a strikeout, but ended up walking the bases loaded. And then gave up a grand slam. We were down 5-0. He had a 35 pitch first inning. We were down 5-0 after the first half inning. And Texas responded in the third inning by scoring 9 runs, which that'll do the damn thing. We went on to win the game 11-6. Luke Harrison responded well after the first inning. He went on to pitch 5 innings, had 9 Ks. Anthony Pack Jr. improved with an eye-popping. He's 8 for 12 with the bases loaded this season.
Clutch, baby.
Dude, he's a freshman.
I know. I'm a fan, dude.
He's batting.
He's fun to watch.
He's batting almost 440 as a freshman. Those of you who don't watch baseball, that's insane. He's a freshman in the SEC, and he's batting almost 440. That's insane.
Really high right there.
So they showed some Texas fight. Last night, they played UTSA. I'm a man. I'm a Texas fan. UTSA has owned Texas the last 5 years.
They have had our number. They have indeed.
Texas took a 4-0 lead for the first 2-3 innings, and then Ethan Mendoza made a boneheaded error. He tripped fielding a ball moving towards first base and threw the ball into the dugout, which allowed them to score a run. and then they got a base hit that made it like 2-0, and then, or I'm sorry, 2-4, and then they tied the game, and then we got 2 more on, and then they hit a grand slam, I think it was, or a 3-run shot that made it 7-4. We were down 7-4 in the 4th inning. Anyways, long story short, we battled back to tie it, and then Carson Tenney did Carson Tenney things, and he hit a piss rod 383 feet.
They could have sold tickets. They could have sold tickets on that thing. That ball went
Dude.
so far.
He knocked the absolute piss out of that ball.
483 feet, didn't you say?
Yeah, 383 feet. He knocked
383
piss out of that ball. And
okay.
the kid that was pitching, he was just like, "Oh God, yeah, that's gone." He couldn't even get mad at that. He crushed it.
Didn't even turn it around.
Yeah, he was like, "Wow." So, thing to note: UTSA is a good ball program. Coach Hallmark is a damn good ball coach. He was the pitching coach at Rice for a lot of years. He's a damn good ball coach at UTSA. He's got that program running well. They're always a power in the Conference USA. They're going to make some noise in the regionals, probably make it to the super regionals, if we're being honest.
Let's hope it's not against us this year.
I would imagine they're going to go and embarrass Texas A&M. That's what I'm hoping for.
Fingers crossed on that one.
I'm going to laugh my ass off like a kid in a bathtub. But anyways, let's hope that they embarrass them. But hats off to UTSA. They pitched for their top 5 pitchers against us, and they lost. Texas pitched a true freshman and some lower arms, and then they brought in Thomas Burns to close it. I think he threw 10 pitches, and he did it. He did his thing. Some scores over the weekend. Georgia sweeps Mizzou. UCLA sweeps Michigan State. Number 18, West Virginia sweeps Kansas State. Coastal Carolina takes a series against Georgia Southern. Kansas keeps playing good baseball. They swept Arizona. Ohio State sweeps number 16, Nebraska. Auburn takes a series from Texas A&M. They almost swept Texas A&M. Number 25, Florida takes a series from Oklahoma. Number 22, Arkansas takes a series from number 17, Ole Miss. Southern Miss sweeps Louisiana Monroe. Number 21, USC sweeps Rutgers. Number 24, Bama sweeps Vandy. Number 13, Oregon takes a series from Washington. Arizona State takes a series from UCF. One thing to note, it's likely that for the first time since I think it's the 60s that both Vanderbilt and LSU missed the postseason.
Wow. That's nuts, dude. Those are two baseball blue bloods, if you will.
Yep. So it's likely that they both missed the postseason. And just so that you're aware, you're going to see some teams that, if they have remaining midweek games. Texas has no more midweek games. They've got 6 more games on the schedule. They play Tennessee this week, and I think they close the season against Mizzou. They're going to Tennessee this weekend, and then they're at home against Missouri. Arizona State, midweek games. Clemson beats number 18, Coastal Carolina 8-4. Troy beats number 19, Bama 6-1. Ooh. Creighton beats number 17, Kansas 9-8 in extra innings. Arizona State, Mizzou, Grand Canyon University, Oregon, Miami, FIU, Michigan, Xavier, all canceled. Not due to weather, but due to RPI. And those of you who don't know what that means, they're worried that their RPI rankings will drop and it'll affect their seeding. That's coward stuff. And just so you know, your RPI will drop due to a win as well. So the formula, it's really weird. Like a road win counts as 1.3 points. A home win only counts as 0.7 points. So, a home loss counts as 1.3 points negatively. So it's really weird the way that works. So I know we're running tight on time. Let's talk some stars, man. that thing ended with a thud. Gulletson did what he does. We had one of the top power plays all season long. That's what his strength is. But we struggled in 5-on-5s, particularly in the playoffs. But it was throughout the season. When we got on the power play, we didn't have any problem scoring. At times we did, but we had some injuries throughout the season. Our defense was awful. I think the first game it was awful. The the 2 games that we won, the defense was decent, right?
Yeah.
But the worst acquisition of the Jim Nill tenure was Tyler Myers. I don't want to see him in a Stars uniform again. I don't give a shit that he's a Dallas kid. I want him gone. That dude.
Yeah, there was some negative to that. There was not a lot of people in love with that trade when we made it, but
he just made a deal just to make a deal because he felt obligated. Dude, call up Kopi Bianca and call it a day, because that trade, we gave up a 3rd-round pick for him.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I saw, like, he never did anything. He was slow. The only thing he was freaking massive. We already have a massive guy that can play.
Bunting didn't do squat either.
Yeah, I mean, at least at some point in his career, he did something. But Tyler Myers was always just a dude that stood there and was big.
Just a big guy, yeah.
He's just a big guy. So I've got a hot take. I think we've seen Jamie Benn's last game as a Star. I don't think he comes back, and I don't think it's because he doesn't want to be back. I think Gulletson's already come out and said he wants him back. I think he would come back and play for, as cheap as we would want him back for. If it's another $1 million contract, great. I just don't think he offers you anything. I think it's possible. You're going to see Robo re-signed. It's going to happen. He's not going anywhere.
He finally showed up in the playoffs, and we wasted it.
Yeah, he shows up in the playoff. Now, last year he was hurt, right? There's nothing you can do about that. He was hurt last season, but I think it's likely you see somebody moved this season. I know that we've got a lot of guys that have no trade exceptions. Rupe Hintz. He's likely a guy that I wouldn't mind them getting rid of. I know that people love him, but the guy is always hurt, dude. He's literally always hurt, and you can't do anything with him. He makes, like, what is it? I wrote it down somewhere, or maybe I didn't. He makes like almost $9 million a year. Maybe it's $8.5 million a year.
Yeah.
Always hurt. I think, at the same time, you miss him, right? When he's not in the lineup, because he's always hurt. But, there's a chance that you see Sagan gone, right? Because
that's about time. That's time for that to happen. It is.
And then also at times Duchesne's elite, handling the puck in front of the net, but there's a chance you see him gone. And for about, just doing the math, I was looking at their salary cap. Duchesne and Hintz account for about 13% of the salary cap. And then you figure in
go ahead, sorry.
You figure in Sagan, that bumps you up to about 22% of the salary cap. So
there's only about 4 or 5 guys, in my opinion, that are going to be completely untouchable.
On our roster.
Yeah. Robo's not going anywhere. Mikko's not going anywhere. Which, by the way, I do believe he was hurt. Never seen him play like that. Ever. Not in his career. I've never seen him play like that.
Yeah.
I don't believe he was healthy.
Yep.
Otter's not going anywhere. And Wyatt Johnston.
I think Otter had some stuff going on up here.
I do as well.
I think it messed him up not getting any ice time in the Olympics.
It was, and that was, as a fan, that's my guy. I was as frustrated he was the third goalie on that team.
I think that's what bothered him.
I get that with the Hellebuck thing. I get it.
Yeah.
Hellebuck played his ass off. He deserved to be the number one goalie there.
He did. Absolutely. I don't disagree.
But in my opinion, Otter was clearly the number 2 guy. But he wasn't treated as such. And I think you're right. I think mentally, that screwed with him some.
Yep.
But this game is a game of, I mean, sports is mental too, man. You know that. I know Carson Wentz had his big injury back with Philly. Just going to relate that he had his big injury the year that he probably would have won MVP. They went on and won the Super Bowl without him.
Yeah,
he was never the same after that, and it had nothing to do with the injury. It was up here.
Yep.
Because mentally he was
done. He was toast after that.
Yeah. He had a couple of some okay spots, but
it was the same thing. It was the same thing with RG3. He tore his knee up, and he wasn't the same. He was still athletic. He could still move, and he could still chuck the ball, but he was never the same up there. Like,
no.
It was also announced that Miro Heiskanen tore an oblique in the last playoff game. So, like, even if we'd have won against Minnesota, he wouldn't have been like you can't play an NHL playoff series with a torn oblique. There's no way.
There's another guy that's not going anywhere either. I should have included Miro.
Miro Heiskanen is
I should have
he's ridiculously talented. He's so good. He's an offensive defenseman. And he is, he's one of those guys that, just love. And don't get me wrong, right? I love Rupe Hintz as well. But dude, come on, man. Like, you're always hurt.
Yeah.
And Tyler Seguin, it's the same thing. You're always hurt. And for years, like when Tyler Seguin was first here, like in his early 20s, like it was like, dude, we just got a franchise player. It was him and JB Ben. And then for a while we had what was his name? He played for Ottawa. He came here, Spezza. Jason Spezza came in. Like, dude, it was amazing. And then, then we just needed some depth, right? And that was kind of where it kind of started to take off. But, there's some guy, like, we need to improve defensively.
Oh, yeah.
Jake Ottinger needs some help, right? So there's some guys that are free agents that I wrote down here. There's John Carlson from Anaheim. He's 36 years old. I think he used to play in Washington. He's experienced. I don't know how much he's going to cost, but he's a guy that you could bring in. I think he's a righty defenseman, right? There's Darren Radish. He's 30 years old. He had a breakout season in Tampa Bay. He's a right shot defenseman. He had 70 points this season.
Damn.
Right? So that's a dude. He's probably going to be expensive after the season he had. And he's 30.
A big market.
He's going to have a big market. But if he wants to play for a contender, like, he's going to want out of Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's on the border of like collapse and rebuild, right? Because this is the second year in a row that they've been bounced in the first round. They're talking about the trading Kucherov. Like, they're like, it's crazy. And then Vegas, they've got an offensive defenseman as well, Rasmus Anderson. He got traded to Vegas, and it kind of revitalized his career. Now he might stay there because they just hired a new coach, and he may want to stay there. Who knows? But he's a unrestricted free agent as well. And then other guys that you could think about to add offensively, Patrick Kane. He's an older guy, but he's an older, like, man, we need more time. We need more time. But we'll see you guys next week. We can talk more about this. But
good job tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Back roads to big cities and where the West begins, we are the voices of North Texas. NTX Media.
talk about those cash discount fees. Your customers already pay for the product, they pay sales tax, and if they're using a credit card, they're paying interest too. And now they're asked to pay even more. That moment at checkout, it matters because when customers see that extra charge, it creates friction. And friction doesn't just affect one sale, it affects whether they come back. At Swipe Merchant Services, we believe there's a better way. Instead of passing costs on to your customers, we help you lower your actual processing fees so you can protect your margins without adding extra charges. No awkward conversations and no surprise fees, just a better experience for your customers and a smarter strategy for your business. Because when paying the tab feels good, they tip better and they come back. They spend more and they trust your brand. Stop passing it on and instead start paying less. Join the Swipe Nation today at swipenationusa.com. That's swipenationusa.com.
Attention all business owners and creative minds. Do you need a unique and personalized touch for your products? Look no further than Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs. We offer custom laser engraving services for a variety of products, including promotional items and corporate or personal gifts. With state-of-the-art equipment and a team of skilled designers, we can engrave intricate designs on virtually any material. Whether it's a special message, a company logo, or a custom design, Romika Laser Engraving will help you make your mark. And the best part, our prices are affordable and our turnaround time is quick.
I couldn't be happier with the work Romika Laser Engraving did for me. The engraving on my product was precise and exactly what I wanted.
So don't wait any longer to add a personal touch to your products. Call Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs today at 817-400-4040 or visit our website at romikadesigns.com. We look forward to helping you make your mark.
Your customers already pay for your product. They pay sales tax. And if they use a credit card, they may even pay interest on top of that. The fees add up. The last thing they need in today's economy is another fee at checkout. And as a business owner, you feel that too. Because every extra charge can impact how customers see your brand. At Swipe Merchant Services, our mission is to help you avoid that. And by lowering your processing costs, you don't have to pass fees on to your customers just to stay profitable. That means smoother transactions, better customer experiences, and stronger, long-term local relationships. Because when people feel good about doing business with you, they come back and they tell others. This isn't just about saving money. It's about building a business people trust. Join the Swipe Nation today and start doing business the smarter way at swipenationusa.com.
Storm damage is stressful, but dealing with your insurance company shouldn't be. You expect your coverage to be there for you. But too often, claims are denied, delayed, or underpaid, leaving homeowners and business owners stuck paying the price. If your roof or property has been damaged, the insurance company's first offer isn't always the right one. At Todd Hurd & Associates, attorneys at law, they've spent over 25 years helping clients navigate complex insurance claims and fight back when coverage falls short. Whether it's roof damage, structural issues, or storm-related losses, their team works to make sure you receive the compensation you're entitled to. Don't leave money on the table, and don't take on the burden alone. Call Todd Hurd & Associates today at 817-426-4529. That's 817-426-4529. Get the support you need and protect what matters most.